I don't have a problem saying there's parts of me that are mean, there's parts of me that are sad, there's parts of me that are happy, there's parts of me, all those different parts. I have a problem with areas that go, whoa, I had that? The unawareness of that in me. It's not who I saw myself as.
Well, why not celebrate the fact that in this moment you're not unaware anymore?
Okay. All right.
In other words, what you just said is funny in that sense, that now you're aware, you're mad that you weren't aware before.
Okay.
And we say, instead celebrate the fact that you're aware and be proud of yourself for your awareness, and then go general. And before you know it, what you'll be aware of is that, oh, I remember that, or something will happen that's like that, and you'll think, oh man, that hasn't come up for a long time. That's what Esther was saying at the airport. She was not used to things not going exactly the way she wants them, and she was not used to being misunderstood by people. Mm-hmm. But they were tired and overwhelmed, and Esther came with such clarity about what she wanted. She'd been sitting on the airplane. She knew that the seats were being snatched up. And the woman on the phone could not book the 4 of them on the new flight because they were still on the airplane and their flights had not been released yet. And so she said, get to a podium and get there fast. And so they went directly to a podium and watched a woman in slow motion taking the paper out of the printer and putting it over there, and getting something out of her purse and putting it over there, and talking to her friend who was working with her about something that clearly did not matter at all. And Esther thought, my brain is going to explode right here. And so it was Esther at the counter. And so Esther had her paperwork. She had the flight numbers, the time, and where the cities were going. Want to go on this flight? It leaves here. It goes to Detroit. We catch this flight. There are 4 seats available. Would you please book us there? No, I think I will take you through Atlanta. It will be better for you. No, there are no seats on the flights from Atlanta. We've already confirmed that. Please just put us on this flight that will take us direct. Well, let me look and see. Well, here is a flight in Atlanta. I'm going to book you through Atlanta. And Esther thought, well, Atlanta would be better because if anything else goes wrong, we can at least drive in. Detroit can't even make it easily. And so Esther stood back, and then the woman said, oh no. There's only 1 seat on this flight. And Esther said, holding the paper up, animated, and the woman said, ma'am, you need to calm down. And Esther is thinking, you need to calm up. And then she said, what do you want me to do? And Esther said, I want you to book 4 seats on these flights. She moved as slowly and as calmly as she could. And then she walked away and felt mad for about an hour. Because it was unnecessary. Where the hell did that come from? But the answer is, it doesn't matter where it came from. The answer is, it came and it demonstrated. So what would Esther take away from that? Walk up to counters where people look lively? When I get there, be as limp as I can possibly be so I don't offend anybody? Are these the answers? How do you manage yourself in a world that is not on your wavelength? And the answer is, prepare the grid in advance. In retrospect, Esther realizes that she developed a sense of urgency because she wanted to be here. She knew you all were coming. And she was playing the game of, wouldn't it be a not very good thing if we couldn't get there? And then she was second guessing herself. When they were waiting for when they got to Detroit, their tickets said seat request, not seat assignment. So Esther went to yet another counter. And there was another woman who was very slow. And Esther said, I know we're early, but could you come back in 20 minutes? Could you just tell me, come back in 20 minutes? All Esther wanted was reassurance that the seats were there. Because she has found, through life experience, that if you wait, the seats aren't there. That the earlier you know, the earlier you have information, the more you are able to know what to do next. Now we're giving you the human version. How's it working out? In other words, the more specific you get, the worse it gets. Until Esther, who is one of the nicest people that you will ever meet, and nice to everyone, received not one, not two, but 3 negative responses. To what? To her vibration, to her concern, to her worrying about things going wrong, to her active vibration. Valid? Was it valid? Of course it was valid. Did it serve her? No. We've just described you to you.
Okay. I got it, thanks.
Because you care, because you're a facilitator, because you want things to go well, because you have things that matter to you, you have things that are important to you. Of course, in other words, and wouldn't it be nice if everybody on the planet was ready, right up to speed with where you are, and could just jump in and take care of things the way they ought to do? Wouldn't it be nice if there was a person who was at that counter who was more refreshed, who was more in her? Wouldn't it be nice if Delta Airlines could have people who are always in vibrational alignment, even when they encounter passengers who are not? Wouldn't it be nice if, even though that woman had encountered one after the other, after the other, after the other, Delta had had several canceled flights that morning. It had been a nightmare for that girl. She was worn right down to the very nub of herself. In other words, she was barely hanging on for dear life. In other words, she was justified in the behavior that she was offering, given the life that she had been living. But you cannot control the circumstances that are around there, but you can very well be a vibrational match to the circumstances that are also out there that are a better vibrational match to you, you see. And so there's a lot to understand about that. Esther understands that she moves better through life when she's operating independently. Because when there are 4 people, or 3 of them with opinions, Richard was calm enough to stand back and not say anything about any of it. But when there are 3 people with different ideas, let's go to that podium, let's go to that one, 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 let's go here, let's go here. In other words, you have to find some way of calming yourself and coming into vibrational alignment with who you are before things can go the way you want them to. We know we are over time, but it was worth every minute of it. Good time for a segment of this.